Sweat Equity Podcast and streaming show, the #1 business podcast
I didn't even know what it was for.
in the world. Pragmatic entrepreneurial advice and real raw dog talk. We're 2020's best small medium enterprise business advisory podcast in the United States. Just do a crazy laugh for no reason.
You did.
Yeah. Because I wanted to make a weird silence.
We got it.
Yeah. 2020's best podcast and streaming entertainment studio of the Eastern United States.
That's totally true.
What? The Media Innovator Awards 2021, baby.
Innovators, dude.
Thank you, Corporate Vision Magazine, for making us winners.
We were already winners.
Catch us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, subscribe, rate, review. That's the cheat code to get us up the rankings. Because if you can't help through our sponsorship, that's the way to help us out. Speaking of sponsors, this episode is sponsored by Grasshopper. Try grasshopper.com/sweat. Get you $75 off an annual plan. The entrepreneur's phone line. Add the app on your phone. Have a second line. You don't need 2 cell phones like a drug dealer. You don't need to get a
Unless you are a drug dealer.
Yeah, don't pay too
Get
much.
a couple of those shits.
Don't pay your cell carrier for an expensive extra line on the same device. That I found out is super expensive for some reason. Try grasshopper.com/sweat, like Keith Sweat, like Montez Sweat. $75 off an annual plan. I use it. It's great. You can pick your own vanity number. Do something fun. Put a dad joke in there. Have fun with
Like what?
it. Like 1-800-DAD-JOKE.
Okay.
Boom! That's 7. It works out. I'm excited because we have an old friend of the program, Fran Biderman-Gross, on Advantages.net. She's got a book out that's called
something.
How to Lead a Value-Based Professional Services Firm on 3keysbook.com. Let's get this party started. Howdy toddy!
What about my sweat equity? Sweat equity. Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity. Sweat equity. What about my sweat equity?
I am here.
Oh, we got
Okay.
you now. Okay.
I thought you were on a call.
I was.
Oh, okay.
I had to finish up the call. I'm like a chain smoker with Zoom and Sal and Zoom and Sal.
Yeah, but that's being you. That's the powerful boss babe you are.
Girl boss. Oh my God, boss babe.
Do you find that stuff kind of condescending in a way when they're
A little.
Yeah?
From the guy who just said babe. Called you a babe.
First of all, you guys have the worst echo with your great mics.
Is that
Really?
our
Oh, well,
side?
you're hearing it through the computer.
Oh yeah, we've got a weird setup.
That's not what's going out on the podcast.
Awesome.
Don't worry.
Sorry.
I'm good. No, don't be sorry. I'm gonna.
Well, now I'm a little sorry.
Well, that's fine. I mean, listen.
First,
I have a mic too.
first things first. You
don't
are
see it.
You are a babe, and we
Oh.
yeah, and all of Queens needs to know this.
Oh my God.
All the airways.
Are we
we're
doing
on.
this on video?
Yeah, we're on. You're on. This is it. This is the show.
Oh my God. All right. I should blur my background because I just moved.
It's too late.
Too late.
We've
too
already
late,
seen
man.
it.
We'll fix it in post.
Okay, wait. We'll fix it in post. Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah, I'll
Wait,
put
I'll
some
do
stuff
something.
in there that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
No, hold on. There's just one thing.
So for the listeners, it's what you would say a busy person's office normally. Oh yeah, there we go. Product placement.
Now we've got a book.
All right. It's all
On
better
display.
now.
Yeah. Well, let's do your plugs up front. Where can the people find you? Where's the book? Should we buy it on the site instead of Amazon?
How many copies should we buy?
1 million.
Are you gonna
Kidding.
Let's be
you gonna
realistic.
autograph one? Send us one.
Of course I'm going to send you one. You just send me your email and I'll send you each one.
Mm.
Number one.
Ooh.
Number two, they can go to 3keysbook.com and pick up a great copy. Watch all the videos of what I called my book bar mitzvah because it was really fun. It was like a little pre-COVID. I went to
Wild.
London. We had this amazing party to celebrate this gigantic effort to write this book. I could tell you, I honestly didn't realize what a big accomplishment it was until the morning of the book launch when Don and I went to breakfast, and he just wanted to have breakfast with me, to celebrate the moment
Don
and to
is
celebrate the end of our work.
okay. And Don is
My co-author,
okay.
Don Scales.
Gotcha.
I thought you were going to say it was your bar mitzvah because it took 13 years to write it.
It took 13 months to write it.
Did it really?
So I had a book. I had a book deal.
Ah.
So here, get this. I go to dinner with Don on December 22nd. Don says, "I want to write a book with you," and I'm like, "Great. What's it about?" So that's a whole other story because he had this all mapped out. Right? He's this chemical engineer, total linear thinker. I'm this creative entrepreneur that's very circular. It's like follow Fran in the conversations, and I exhaust people, but it's fun, right? So we've been the perfect complement to each other, with him truly living a purpose life, in business and personally, and the two of us, while we take different paths and walk different everything, we are completely aligned and are always aligned at the on the end game or at the vision of things. And he's like, "No, I really want to write a book with you. You have synthesized this approach to make business so much easier for people to truly intellectually understand how to activate and implement, or I'd like to say infuse purpose into their business, and it drives profitability in every aspect of it." So that's how a marketing strategist, if you want to call me that, writes a leadership book on how to drive profit with purpose. But the title of the book is called How to Lead a Values-Based Professional Services Firm. And whether it's professional services or not, doesn't matter.
Rolls right off the tongue.
Why you gotta be mean?
Because she can take it.
Okay.
I can totally take it.
The title's a little bit long.
She's going to give it back to us too, by the way. So, but you can tell.
Just watch out.
I'm on the landing page on 3keysbook.com. Here's how you know she's the shit. Is right there. You got your brand messaging for the book, the campaign message: purpose over products, values over features, stories over facts. That's your H1 text. Get your call to action right there.
Put what you do at the top of your website.
Yeah. It's weird, right?
Novel idea.
Yeah, because all adults are children now, and they all have ADHD. And if they're on the toilet, which is toilet time, sometimes looking for stuff to buy, you don't want to divert them.
Yes.
And you've got two choices. You can hear the little audio trailer that we recorded that tells you a little bit about the book, or you can just go buy it if you want. And if you don't believe anything we say, then Larry Weber, he's pretty much the bomb. On a professional services side, and then you've got here's where you can order it. Here's why we wrote it. Because you're gonna pop up for the newsletter and all, but you're a big purpose. Everything's purpose kind of mantra with advantages.net. If anybody wants to go hire them, but purpose is kind of your mantra throughout everything, which people conflate that with passion, I think, a little bit, but a lot. Yeah. And purpose, I feel like you feel compelled to, what compelled you to write this book? I can read the text on the landing page, but I want to hear from you. Listen, in a nutshell, I had the Harvard grad who wanted to write a book, who truly lives this book every day, and said, "Hey, you codified it. Let's pull the approach out. You can't be this little agency on the side. You really are the expert on this." Now, it's not in theory. It's like, if you want to talk about how I met him, like, I literally rebranded their company in 30 days. And they actually hired me to do a logo. I really didn't want to take the job because that's not really what we do for a living. But girlfriend, were they bidding between you and Fiverr? Oh yeah, exactly. I was like, why aren't they do that? But they're a communications company, and they get a lot of things right, and they're a really rock solid company, and they were positioning for exit. They had acquired a number of companies, one Keystone company, and they really needed to reposition and rebrand and prove themselves on the authority. And as smart a businessman as Don is, and as purposeful as he is, he knew it in his gut. And then when you took someone like me who really challenged their story and their values using their own words, I remember walking away from the presentation. It was actually an internal competition that I got hired to participate in. And they took their 3 creative teams from Arizona, New York, and London and said, go create a logo. And oh, by the way, I hired a branding firm to do the logo as well. So now it became a real competition.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw the other logos. I was the second to present to a global team of 8 that were 7 in the room. So everybody's flown in for 2 days of meetings.
All super cool, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was
Not
super
stuffy at
nerve-wracking.
all.
The only context I had to prepare for this presentation, and I kid you not, it's totally the truth. Everything I could find on the internet about these companies and their creative brief, which they said, they pretty much gave me, I asked for the original briefing on each of the 2 marquee companies and their new brief that they had written themselves. And I got 30 minutes, which was basically a one-way conversation, like ask a bunch of questions. It's not enough to have a real conversation with each of the 8 executives. So
Speed date.
Also, our podcasts are only 33 minutes.
It was like speed branding on steroids.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, our podcasts are only 33 minutes. I hope your assistant told you.
So we'll have
Oh,
a
God.
nice
All
fake
right, well-
conversation.
No, you're good. You do you. Take as long as you want. I'm just saying.
It's not a real conversation. That's what he's saying.
We can have you back on. Look, you know I'm a fan of you, so I have you on every week if we can. But I don't think that's going to work in your schedule. I think that's
not that interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, to
I
make a long
disagree.
story very short, I became the most hated person in the company because we, who had only known the company 31 days prior to ever presenting, in 42 minutes, I pretty much challenged a fair amount of their brand foundation. And I walked out of that meeting making it to the second round and then ultimately winning the logo. That's because the brand represented everything that I had questions. The visual representation was right. So unanimously, we won. And I started a relationship with Don that is just bar none, with 2 purpose-driven individuals. And I just gave him the words to things that he was doing on a day-to-day. So there you have it. That's the whole story.
That's how it came to be. And then he was like, we gotta put this the pen to paper on this, because this is a guide that needs to
and
be
it
told.
really that took about 6 different dinners once a month. Every time he was in New York, we would go out. When he told me we won, I was like, great, let's go out and celebrate to dinner. And then, part of me was like, oh my God, did you just ask a global CEO out to dinner? But we
What's wrong
went,
with
we didn't
that?
talk.
What's the big deal?
I know, but
gotta
this is
eat.
where
Is
totally got to eat. And I didn't know why I thought another thing of it, but that night was magical.
That seems sweet.
And it was we didn't talk about business at all. We just talked about his journey through Harvard and selling agency.com and Herbst for $350 million. And it was just really interesting journey. And he was fascinating, as he was lovely. And we just, that's it. So he asked me to write a book. Now we have a number in the Library of Congress that we share, and we're doing good work with it. That's pretty much it.
I'm gonna get him on this podcast and then see what he says about you, just to see.
I have no problem with that.
I want to know. I want to know what kind of, in my head. I know you're not like this, but it's funnier in my head that you were like going scared straight when you're asking the questions in those 30-minute sessions, like getting in their face. They're like, "What are you about?" Oh, like getting.
You want some other brand to fuck you?
You think these other 3 internal departments are going to do this? I'm Fran.
Not quite. I think
You guys know how to use a
when
shiv? Yeah.
no, you just have to remain really calm and cool, no matter what, whether you know that these people or not. you just really need to maintain your own integrity, right? I really truly was interested in how these 8 people were chosen to be on this committee and how they aligned with the brand. And that was really where the interrogation was. So it was very much kind of really validating what we heard and what they said. And all I did was very politely said, hey, your brand says this, but when I interviewed you, I heard these things. I'm kind of curious why this stuff doesn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really oh, that's a really good observation. And if I made my own assumptions, which I did, and created 4 logos of different, because look, logos are really,
Not 4 loco.
design is all subjective, right?
Yes.
So
Just don't be confusing with a logo. That's rule number 1.
Right. Well, and some people like abstract, confusing things. So
Better
you
have a
have to
reason.
design it all and see
Yeah.
how you appeal.
Yeah.
If your company is about confusing people,
Yeah.
good. Mission accomplished.
Well, then mission accomplished.
Well, it's one of those things. Well, a logo. We can talk logo theory all day because it's good for the audio listeners. But the logo stuff is funny because I just go, all right, what are the best logos? And thinking I used to do that, and it was a stupid question to ask because I'm thinking they're gonna lead me back to the answer I want to hear, like to get them to say, and it never worked that way. I'd be like, all right, what? Just close your eyes. Think of the best logos. I'm thinking they're gonna say Nike.
Just say FedEx.
Say FedEx with the hidden arrow. Do it. Negative space arrow. FedEx rules. Yeah. But like I think they're gonna say Apple, Nike, something like that, and they'll say like the most absurd, ugly, old. They're like Bluebell ice cream. You're like, I don't even know what that is.
Written out. In a
Why would
cow
you throw
with a
that out there?
silhouette.
Like,
Listen, at the end of the day, it's about education, and you have to decide how expensive it is.
yeah,
That's really the bottom line, right?
Ah.
Google spent, Nike spent, Starbucks spent, right? Coke spent. And even if you look at the evolution of their visuals, it's about modernization
mm-hmm.
and minimalization.
Yeah,
So they minimize so that they can become recognizable with a mark,
Mhm.
period.
yeah,
Mhm.
Right? Do you remember when Starbucks removed their explanation of text around the mermaid, and then it was just the mermaid logo? And then there was a big uproar about it, or at least there was in my world, right?
I don't believe in anything Seattle based. So
Also, what was the mermaid about?
I boycott Seattle. No,
No,
I
come
can't.
on.
Amazon's got all of us, man. But yeah, well, they moved the labor market. I think that's the wildest thing about Amazon right now. But that, and they basically control all the servers that everybody uses. But other than that,
Well, they're really just a logistical data company. That's really what we need to understand. The same way that Tony Hsieh, God rest his soul, started, a customer service company inside a shoe company, right? But they're really all about
Zappos.
customer service.
Got it. Read his book.
Exactly.
Eric was
So I-
excited. I know.
Yes. Now, I didn't.
I know of him.
I was like, God rest his soul, man. How old?
Oh, he died.
I know he died.
Yeah.
Now, and
And you got to remember,
was
we
tragic.
got a footnote. Some of these people you're mentioning not recognizable for our audience totally. So
right.
we
I
have
mean,
to,
the
Okay.
fact that I got it,
no,
I'm a bit
hey,
of an
good.
idiot
Hey,
sometimes.
gold
Just
star.
think,
Listen,
man. You
now
did
you
great.
know me,
You
it's
did
all
great.
over.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah,
Now you know it's me. It's kind of all over.
yeah. Look,
We don't know. We're totally just laser focused all the time.
yeah, we're
on the podcast.
linear. We're like your,
everything.
your
There's
author
no
buddy.
tangents at all. We just go straight down the subject.
We're the Don Scales of podcasting. We're just straight
That's
through.
awesome. So, I'd like to say that I don't know that I would coin the phrase, but we're strategically focused because tactics don't work. So when you think about switching over, I guess, sort of to advantages, if you want to build brand equity or generate more sales or possibly accelerate revenue, it's really about understanding how customer infused growth takes advantage of the fact that you have more insights to understanding what your customer wants and then aligning it with your purpose, right? So it's not the other way around.
Yeah,
And that's how things go and grow, really.
Yeah, and I haven't been on the site in a while, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the new site. And if anybody wants to go to advantages.net, this is a good lesson on less is more with your brand message and design. You're using a lot of negative space, make the eye go where you want it to go. I see what you're doing, Fran. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm gonna get in that office one day and get on those frosted whiteboards that you got everywhere.
Fran, he was talking about your frosted whiteboard. Before the pot. He was
I
like,
love whiteboards.
Ooh, he's like, oh man, Fran's got all these frosted whiteboard. He was
ideas,
excited about it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, what are we gonna do about it?
But I draw wieners on a lot of yours.
Right, exactly. You come in there wieners on every single whiteboard you have.
That's how I do flow charts. They're all wieners. It's like the
listen,
come back around to the tank.
Yeah.
If it works.
Well, speaking of logos, we have a philosophy on this show that all logos are basically vaginas or penises.
Yes. You can go back and look that up, and everything
Insignia
has one of them.
We're not talking like...
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm going to debate that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, take it. Use it. If you gotta present to a bunch of CEOs,
right? When you're out of options, listen. It
when
fulfills the dick or vagina, thing. Like, just buy the shit.
When you're struggling, you're like just non sequitur.
It's a dick.
Logos or penises or vaginas.
Let me ask you a question, Law. Do I look like someone who ever struggles?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Not with
so
words.
I'm never going to use it.
Well.
Okay.
I'm never going to use it.
Well, then can you just
I'm
do it for fun?
Yeah, just do it for a game for yourself.
Do it for fun to tell us about it. That'd be great.
All right, maybe I'll have to think about the right space and the right time.
I'm doing a Facebook
but I'll
ad
tell
for
you,
this
people
to
are
your
very
employees.
people are very possessive of their logos or their icons and their marks. So I'm not so sure you want to be messing with it that way.
No, it took me a while to figure that out too, because I'd just start going. I wanted to talk shit like John Taffer and just be like, this is horrible. Like, just object. Like,
your logo's going to get people sick.
Yeah, this looks like it's from the 90s. God bless you if you think like shadow and 3D on something that doesn't need to be that. You need, like, look at it flat, simple, minimalistic. Look, it's really hard. I'm not saying it's like a brand name or a brand slogan. They're really tough to make. But
the best piece of advice I could ever give anyone designing a logo is to truly understand the color palette, but design it in black and white first.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. So you can, it's like, I don't know, just equate it to cooking, right? You can over salt, you can under salt, and you can over salt, but you can never reduce the over salting. So if you're going to design a logo with color and then try to understand how it's going to work across all mediums, then go design it in black and white, it loses something. But if you start with a one-dimensional logo or even a two-color logo, but flat, one-dimensional, you have a much better shot of being able to build upon it and to let it grow and evolve than going any other way. And I see this common mistake all the time, and that people actually want to design their logo first before they truly identify their three keys so that their logo doesn't have the right amount of meaning, because it should be a visual representation of verbally who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So
who are you?
People go to the design thing first, and then you end up in conversations like, it only looks like one of two things.
Well, yeah.
Dick or vagina.
Yeah. Well,
I figured I'd humor you.
There's that's the circular way. We got right back to it. So, I mean, that thing with the pink elephant principle, like, that's 100% true for, I was about to say 100% true for most of the meetings, but
for 90% of the people.
But
can you explain the pink elephant thing?
So a lot of people we need a new logo, and I go, first off, do you need a new logo? You just think it's a logo or it's a brand identity? Like, what is this going to be on?
Sure.
And they're like, what's a brand identity? No, a lot of people aren't familiar with that. And I go, do you have brand messaging? Because that, I would say, is a lot more important. And I'd probably, if we're doing one over the other, I want to get the messaging first and then work on the logo. Because if you don't know who you are, what you do, why you're better, why I should hire you if you're a service company, why I should buy you if you're a product, how do I do it? What's the process? How do I trust you as a brand? it's going to be hard for me to kind of take none of that stuff in a brand message and put it into what it should be as an icon. But the pink elephant thing is they already have something in their head that they like. And Fran's 100% right that
And it sucks.
they take it sensitively because typically the business owner made it themselves.
Yes.
And they don't know
Always
how bad they
bad.
suck
So
at design, which is why you're in the room in the first place. It drives me nuts.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
So,
They don't care.
this was a lesson for me on like, do I want to be right about this or do we want to just move
Do you
on?
want to get this shit done?
Well, we're going to end right back there most of the time.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
where I made a
you
mistake
you know-
is I didn't.
You know where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you don't anchor the visuals in the right verbal, you're going to end up rebranding or you're going to end up redoing it. So you need to take the time to anchor the cause, the purpose, the belief of why this organization exists. And if you get those things right, then you can say, all right, designer, let me help you understand why this organization exists and what impact I want to see it have in the world. And then when you get clear on that, that starts to shape a foundation for your brand. And that gives context and imagination if you let the designer do that, as opposed to saying, hey, I'm looking for a red and blue, let them explore color palette and fonts and icon imagery and the use of it in social with photographs and things like that. There's a reason why designers go to school and, get, the right appropriate, I guess, work experience and degrees on these things because there's laws of fonts and space and all that kind of thing.
Give me that golden ratio. Yeah.
Yeah, white space, giving things to people to breathe. But either way,
Give me a negative space something. FedEx
I know.
arrow it, dude.
I totally love white space because it gives focus and it gives space for things to breathe. So you're not, look, to write a lot of words is cheap. To capture the essence of your brand in just a few words is expensive and the biology is behind it, right? So, the part of my brain and yours that doesn't have capacity for language is really a marketer's job, is to actually harness what those words really are so that it's memorable and easy to repeat.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can do that, the marketer or the brand strategist did their job, naming your company, creating a tagline, if that's even necessary, but giving you the keywords that evoke the feeling that's reminiscent and familiar about how they feel about you.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's really
Ours is.
We're so quiet because we're like, where's the pencil to write
Yeah.
that shit down?
I'm
If
gonna
you use that
I'm
later.
gonna have to freaking
totally.
listen to
I
our
knew
own
it, but I
voice
just
on a
gotta-
podcast
yeah.
again. God. I'm gonna have to listen back as like continue education.
Yeah.
But
What did Fran say about that?
what I'm always appalled by, and tell me if you feel this way, and this might just be more emotional about it, but
Appalled. Can't wait to hear what it is
the people that have a business, especially if they founded it and got it up, and it's a substantial company. There's a lot of employees, and they really don't give a shit about the brand part. And my thing is like, how can you not really? I know, like you can't go direct correlation probably to profit. It is probably indirect.
Well, you might be.
You could
if you're really lucky,
but they're not. They'll in their head, their bottom line probably, right? So
no, not necessarily. But here's what I'm going to tell you about your brand, right? You either define it or it defines you,
right?
So it's just you're either going to control the narrative or the people are going to formulate opinions about your service, your performance, your brand. They're going to judge your brand by the interaction with the salesperson or the customer service person they had. And if that is not in alignment with where, you're going in the world and the things that you want to contribute to, I know that sounds like really pie in the sky, but it's true. We've got the numbers to back it up.
Right.
Well, that's
We
what
have
it's
the
all
case
about.
studies to back it up, right? It's really about understanding how to harness that education, those communication fundamentals, because they are going to define it for you if you do not. So if you don't leave them with a key message that resonates their emotion, they're going to have to think of one in their head. So if I said, hey, what it was like doing business with so-and-so, and I already fed them the words, oh, Fran, she got me noticed. She this, she that, she this, she that. She's so purpose-driven, blah, blah, blah. Or they're going to say, her? I don't know. She's like super whatever.
What
you know?
ifs?
So I don't know.
Hmm.
It's kind of crazy.
That second scenario, she turned in real depressing. Like, I don't know.
Well, that's the scenario
Is
we
she
don't want.
Is she coming? I don't know.
It should be whatever.
I
Should be
saw someone
depressing.
get hit by the subway today. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bummed.
That's what it feels like.
Um,
Somebody doesn't remember.
I can't stop thinking about it. Sorry.
You just jumped right on the rail. I mean, nobody even tried to stop him.
But yeah, you're totally right, and you're gonna love this nugget. Who's the best? Who's the best at pushing the narrative? Your favorite. Who's the best at doing it?
At pushing the narrative?
Yeah,
Trump.
Yeah.
No,
baby.
is that what it was?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, he does.
So I'm going to tell you that it's funny. I was just
I don't.
where was I
don't
last week?
like
I was in
him,
Las
but-
Vegas
Yeah,
last
you too.
week at a conference giving, a workshop talk, whatever you want to call it. And I said, let's put politics aside. Let's put human beings and humanism aside. One of the greatest marketing campaigns in our decade has, Donald Trump had one message and spoke to one ideal persona who did the work for him, right? None of us will ever forget how happy or surprised we were that Trump actually won the election. And when I go back and I bring everybody back to that moment, they're like, oh yeah, I was very happy. Why? Because you were one of the people that he was talking to. And if you were very surprised, it's because you weren't convinced by someone who was. So you were only one of two things. You were just elated or happy, nothing more. So, and that is because he was absolutely focused on saying consistently one thing, talking to one ideal persona, period. Same key messages over and over again. I mean, it's funny to hear the memes, right? Stack when he could have been in 30 different locations with 30 different suits or 30 different ties, and you hear the same messages over and over again. Those consistency, that was extraordinary.
He's a
And
genius.
Thank you for
yeah.
Thank you for
Marketing
validating this.
genius.
I've been saying that on this show for a while.
Oh, there's no doubt about
yeah.
that. I mean, that's.
I think he's a PR master with that part.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't think he is. I think he has
yes.
a team.
Well, you know what I'm saying though. Like I think
He's the perfect kind of guy to carry out that PR
He does
mission.
He does a Kevin Nealon like. If you've seen his stand up, Kevin Nealon like subliminal. It's not subliminal message, but he basically does the compliment he wants you to say about him in the thing talking about himself. So he'd
Right.
be like,
Well, he's
I'm
feeding
very
you with
I'm,
what
I'm
he
very
wants you
strong.
to-
I'm a very strong
Correct.
president. And then like you're like that's something a 5-year-old would say.
Right.
And then, but he'll
I'm
say
very
it.
smart.
It's simple.
I'm the top
And
of this field.
I'm learning about psyops a little bit. If you need to
Weird
mobilize,
thing to call it.
no, if you need to mobilize a group-
Psychology, psych ops.
yeah, it's a real thing. Go on.
Sure. Yeah. Are you in the military?
Go
Doing
on,
psych
A-chan
ops?
guy. But I'm saying if you need to mobilize people for a movement like that, the science behind that is have it be a simple mantra message that everybody's on board with. That's how you get people to do the bidding for you.
Listen, after decades of experience, I don't think you will ever hear just do it and not think about Nike and not see their ads that just are all about empowerment of you, the individual, celebrating the ability, your ability to just do something.
Yeah.
Now,
You know.
Fran, I can't help but point out we're talking about brand messaging, and you keep calling it Nike.
Yeah, whatever.
It's just really interesting to me.
I'm like, is that like how someone says niche?
Fran's
or
rolling her
niche?
eyes right now.
I don't know.
But,
It's the New Yorker.
Okay,
It's like,
well, that's fine.
I don't know. It's like
Blame it
Mikey,
on New York.
Nike. I don't know.
I was gonna try to steamroll over that, but I'm glad you said it.
I felt like I could. It was
But it's
palpable.
good.
It was
Look,
palpable. Law
It
was like
doesn't matter.
saying-
You'll never see a swoosh and think of anything else.
Right.
Ever.
for sure.
Yeah.
Nike.
And I like the just of in a slogan because just is a strange word in other languages. Like some of them just doesn't have it. So it's a little bit like, in a weird way, a little bit American or at least English. All right. Before we end, here's what I would like to ask. I'm gonna get your book, read it, and we come back on, maybe like a month or something. And then we didn't ask you this the first time around because we didn't really have this question.
Also, we weren't here.
And Eric wasn't a co-host on the show yet the first time you were on.
I gotta know.
And so we asked everybody their first time on, or if you didn't do this, your first appearance on the show, what advice would you give your 13-year-old self?
My 13-year-old self, I would tell that person now to just own your own experiences and be confident in who you are.
All right.
Good.
Concise.
Back to the
It's like you
future
do
with Fran.
branding.
Fran's already in and out. Done.
That was like the most like
But I mean,
professional
it's a common, yeah, exactly. It's a common theme, and it's something,
I
Fran's
know I
into
really
marketing,
did have to think about it,
as
and I
few
will
words
tell you,
as possible. Boom.
it doesn't hurt that I have a 13-year-old, right? So what are the things that I would tell her?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie. But I will say that the theme that comes up all the time is that I don't know. I think as we mature through age, although I'm only 29,
right.
Pregnant at 16, huh?
Yeah, we're 37.
Wow.
What do you mean? Four.
We're 37.
I'm doing your
You're much
math.
younger.
You gave us the numbers. I'm doing the math.
Mhm.
Okay, do the math.
13-year-old,
Sorry.
29.
Listen,
It's New York.
I own
New
it.
York.
Yeah.
It's New York's fault.
Listen, I have a granddaughter this year, already, so no,
Also
I
New York's
really
fault.
truly think about this often. That the people around me and the things that I've learned, and I would say the closest people who were there when I was young, if you will, and through being raised are no longer on this earth. But I think about the lessons they taught me, and I think about and how to carry that forward. And the one constant theme between the people who are closest to me, I think about just like own who you are. Like, don't be apologetic for feeling a certain way or behaving a certain way, okay, within reason. But I truly own my own experience. Like, if I'm going to walk into a room and I'm going to be angry, that's going to set the tone.
Mhm.
If I'm going to walk into a room and be happy, that's going to set the tone. Does it matter how I feel or what happened on the other side of that door frame? Not really. Right? As a leader, we have a responsibility to set the tone, to lead. But it's more important that you own the territory that you put your feet in. Because if you can't be confident and not apologetic, then you're just not being yourself.
Yeah.
So I wish that when I was 13, someone told me in a stronger way for me to really own my own experiences and be confident in who I was, even if I wasn't confident in the decisions I was making. Right? Because there's lessons in everything. And until you're in your kind of mid-20s, you're really living life to understand the consequences of your own actions, right? It's beautiful to see. I mean, wow, I know you've got young little ones at home, but like, oh my God, it's exhausting how many times they ask you why.
No,
And-
we're in that phase. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But that's a child who truly lives in innocent purpose, because that's the way you get to it anyway. You absolutely interrogate everything you say with why 5 times. I don't care if it's a word. I don't care if it's a phrase. Like, that's the only way you're going to get your brain to actually harness the real language around the emotion.
Yeah. I want to foster curiosity too. I used to hate it when I was younger, when I was a little kid, and you'd ask questions and then it'd be like, I don't know, just try and shut up. Like, like that.
Because I'm the mom and that's why.
Yeah.
That doesn't foster curiosity.
Now my daughter's 3 and she knows what she's doing. Like after a while, she's not even asking really why. She just knows it's going to get annoying and she thinks it's funny. It has like a frat boy laugh. Like, but
I know it's coming.
Yeah, that's me. But
you all day.
But it's like I found a way to put a button in that loop, and it doesn't make sense. But one day I was just like, she's like, why? And I was like, why ask why? Bud Dry.
Ayo, that's good.
Like,
I'm gonna bring back Bud Dry at my house.
Well, I pulled that '90s commercial out of my head somehow for a beer that doesn't exist.
Why ask why?
Yeah,
Bud Dry.
And then she'll
say that all day. Yeah,
because I'll be like, "Are you asking why, really?" Because you're not. I don't even think you're listening to the answer I'm giving you. And she's
I
like,
trade off all the whys with a discussion with the teacher. Listen, they ask why too much, so I said, "Why ask why?" But Dry, leave me alone about it. Yeah. You get it. You're
but
a teacher.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Be confident in who you are, flaws and all. Like you say, Nike instead of Nike. You almost had a perfect 10 out of 10 on this as a guest.
I'm going to go back and score it. We'll see how it works out.
Always got to leave room for improvement.
We'll take a 9.9. But will you come back? Will you come back on a little bit? I'm going to read it. I promise.
After we read the book.
I'm going to read
as
it.
You should.
See you in 2 years.
No way. 1 month. That's why I'm putting it out there.
Let me tell you something.
How long is it?
Here's what I'm going to tell you about you non-readers. Okay.
I mean, you non-readers. How dare you?
Okay, well, you're sitting here going, I'll talk to you in 2 years. It's barely 50,000 words. It'll take you barely 4 hours to read it. But here's the thing about this book. First of all, you could download the intro and get a head start. That's 1.
Done.
2, you could watch the 17-minute video, which was the video that we put out on why we wrote the book. It's a little long. It probably could be a little shorter, but it was at the book launch. And for all the people who loved us and cared about us, it was too bad you could sit for 17 minutes. And by the way, it's probably about 4 minutes too long.
Wow.
So it doesn't feel like 17.
Hope the video team's not listening.
And I will tell you that the way you should read it is you should read the intro because it's fascinating. You should read the first 2 chapters on leadership and culture and then go read the appendix. And after that, choose your own adventure, even if you don't pick up another chapter. So
I do love that you're giving us an out on having to read the whole book, but I feel like we will read the whole thing.
I want to know
but
this.
It might not be relevant to you.
We actually will. I mean, I'm going to read it. I mean, that's, it's the sort of thing I'll read.
Challenge accepted.
But it is nice to get get off, it'd be like, you only have to read the first 2. Thank God.
We're basically the target audience. I mean, we do this show to ask smarter people how to do business things.
Yeah.
So how do we be smart business?
So if you are not in marketing or you're not dealing with your merger or an acquisition, you don't need to read chapter 8. You don't need to read chapter 5. Just understand the concept of purpose, affect your brand foundation, and then whatever area you're in charge of, that's the chapter you should read. So, when you talk about leadership and culture, everybody needs that. So I might have lost you, a little bit on the approach. So go read the appendix because the appendix gives you a roadmap on what the approach is and how to do it yourself. So you've got the key to the kingdom. You don't need me after you read those 3 chapters, and then go choose your own adventure and read whatever chapter you want or not. So, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
We all kind of have that decision. A lot of people buy books and not read them. I think that's most people. I call them brain trophies. I want people to walk in and go, you read 20 books in your life?
You're so smart.
Yeah, it took me a long time. You say 4 hours.
Do you know how long it took me to listen to these?
Yeah, it's going to be 16 for sure. I am a slow reader. I do it with my finger.
Listen to it on half speed.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Well, but I will probably read it slowly because this is almost, for me, this is, in our world, industry, whatever, there's not a lot of it's not like being a lawyer. You do continuing education every year. So you have to
Not a lot on tape.
Right, you have to autodidact kind of your way through it. Yeah, 50 cent word, baby.
Totally true.
All right, we'll have you back on. Thank you for coming on. You're the best.
Thanks,
Always.
Fran.
Bye bye.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sweat equity.
Bye now.
Sweat equity.